utility class of arrays. Java provides the arrays utility class with static methods for common array operations like printing, sorting, searching, comparing, and copying. To use it, we need to import. Okay. And we can import that from util package. First one is printing array. Printing an array directly with system.out.println with name outputs a memory reference, right? Something like that. So we can use one utility method, right? Let's see that one. If you will try to print these marks directly, we can hide that. So if you print directly, then let's see what we will get. We can compile this one and we can run this one. So you can see that we got some weird output. And here, this represents our array of int, okay? And this one represents hash of our memory address, and this is the default behavior like toString. Okay, in later part of our series we will see some default methods that every class inherit from object class. Okay, and our array does not override that method. That means we will get default output from our toString method. Okay, so if you call this directly or if you call toString, that is same thing. Okay, compile this one and run this one. This one is same thing. Now let's import our utility class. Okay, import java.util.arrays, and here we can use that arrays.tostring. Compile this one and run this one. So this time we got some good output. Okay, so what this do is this iterates through our array and builds a formatted string. Okay, if you press Ctrl and click on this one, then you will come here. You can see that our methods are static. That means we can directly call on class name, which is arrays here. What we can do is instead of clicking on arrays, we can click on that toString. So this one will return one string, right? And inside that, it will use string builder to append our values, right? It will automatically add the square brackets, commas as well, just like our output here, right? And if you want to print 2D arrays, then we can use arrays.deepToString method, right? Now our next one is sorting. Arrays.sort sorts an array in ascending order using a highly optimized algorithm, dual pivot quick sort for primitives. And this one is designed by Vladimir Yaroslavsky, and I'm sorry if the pronunciation is not correct. Okay, and this one was introduced in version 7 because our traditional quick sort picks one pivot and partitions around it. Okay, but dual pivot takes two pivots and creates three partitions. This reduces the number of comparisons and is faster in practice on most real world data, right? And if you notice that here we mentioned primitives. Okay, so this one is for primitives, but for objects like our string, Java uses team-sort, which is hybrid algorithm that combines our merge sort and insertion sort. Okay, basically team-sort was originally designed for Python, right? In version 7, our Java adopted that one. Now you might be wondering that why we use two different algorithms, one for primitives and another for object references, right? So our primitive arrays can have reference equality concerns or custom comparators, and in the simple case, they are just numbers, right? And our quick sort uses less memory in those cases. But for objects like strings, stability matters. We want equal elements to stay in their original order, and our team sort is a stable sort. Okay, we can consider our quick sort is not stable, right? Now we can move forward with binary search. Arrays.binarySearch finds the index of a value in the sorted array using the binary search algorithm, right? We have one prerequisite. Arrays.binarySearch only works correctly on a sorted array. If the array is unsorted, then our result is undefined. So if you know how binary search works, that means you can understand this very easily. Basically, just if you want to use searching, like binary searching on a sorted array that has million elements, then it needs at most about 20 comparisons. Okay, so let's say we have this array and we want to find the index of this value. In this one, we will get 2. Let's copy this one and let's do some tests. Okay. So we know that in this one we will get 2, but what if we want something that is not in the array? Okay. Let's say we want something 35. And here we can print. Now, what do you think that we will get here in this case? We can compile and run this one. Okay, in this one we got 2, that's fine. But in case of 35, we got -4. This one is not random value. Okay, if you go inside that binary search, you can see here we are performing binary search 0. So here we are doing something like that. This one is binary operation, and if our value is not found, we are returning something like that, negative low plus 1. Okay, key not found. And this one is very interesting value. If you notice here 35 and we got -4 in response, right? This one is one insertion point. Okay, hypothetically, if our value was present, then it will come here on index 4. -4 means 1, 2, 3, and 4 in place of 40. Okay, and you can write some algorithms. Let's say find one value in one sorted array, and if you can't find, then you can return just larger value than that value. Okay, so we were searching about 35. If I did not get any value related to that, return me one higher value. Okay, just higher value. So this implementation can help there, right? It will return index -4, and if we have to convert this to actual syntax, then we can reverse that and we can subtract, right? So something like that, negative, and our this value that we were given. So what we can do is we can convert this to actual syntax, something like that, negative, our value. In this case, this one is -4. We can add here +1, or we can add, or we can subtract here basically, right? So this is how we can find some values related to our related values. We can do some interesting algorithms based on binary search. Now let's move to our next one, which is essential methods. Some other essential methods. First one is arrays.equals. Checks if two arrays have the same elements in the same order. Arrays.equals. Okay, so we need to use here equals instead of double equals to. Same case with the strings. Double equals to compares heap addresses, and this arrays.equals compares element by element. Okay, now for 2D arrays, we can also discuss here instead of in our chapter 5. There we will also discuss, but let's understand here something. If we create 2D arrays, try to understand pattern here. Okay, like structure. This one is something like that. We have one array. Okay, that's fine. This one will hold one address to first array, okay, address to second array, and address to third array. Now, on this address, we will get this array, right? And if this one is primitive, that means we will get direct values, and if this one is like some reference type, we will get address at each position there. You can understand some structure here basically, right? If you try to call arrays.equals on 2D arrays, then 2D array would compare the inner array references, not their content. Okay. If you try to do that, let's create one more. We can create with similar values like that. And if you call here something like system dot out dot println, okay, deep equals, so this one will compare our content, not our addresses. Okay, and if we do something like arrays dot equals, right? So here let's see, arrays comparison should probably be done using arrays dot deep equals, because this one is 2D array. Okay, let's see, compile this one, run this one. Second one, we got false here, but if you use the same method on 1D arrays, like here, arrays.equals, here you will get true. So you got true here. So that means you need to understand the structure, okay, of 2D arrays. 2D array compare the inner array references, not their content. And if you have 1D array, even of strings, we can see, right? We can create names, John, Jane, and Bob, arrays dot equals. So let's see what we will get this time. Our compiler is giving correct suggestions. In this one, we got true because our reference is same here. Our JVM did not create any separate object for that. But if you use something like string and one, okay, equals to new string John, new string John, and if you use this one here and one and two, compile this and run this one. Okay, so this time as well we got true here because arrays dot equals use dot equals for object array or object values or reference comparison, right? So if you go inside that, you can see here we have here object, okay, and here as well you can see here objects dot equals, and we have seen in strings as well. If you want to compare only values, then you can use dot equals methods, right? So this one is just a small practice. You can try more. One more we have here is which is arrays dot fill, fills the entire array with a specific value, okay. If you want to fill with 0, then you can do that. You can fill with some other value as well, but that value should be the same type of your defined type in your array, okay. Now arrays.copyOf creates a new array that is a copy of the original, and here this new len argument, if our this argument is bigger, then extra slots get default values, okay, and if this one is smaller, then our array is truncated. Internally uses, we can say something like system dot array copy, right? You can see that here as well. So instead of creating new here, we can use something like arrays.copyOf, okay. Return t copyOf if you go inside that. So you can see here we use here system.arrayCopy, okay. And this one is one native method that our JVM optimizes heavily, and this often down to a single memory copy instruction on modern hardware, right? We can also pass some different number of arguments, and based on that our different method will be called. So here you can see that this one will copy this much, right? What if we want to copy from one specific index to another one specific index? We can do that. We have to use one different method for that, okay. Arrays.copyOf, we have to use one different method, that is copy of range, and in this one we can pass something like our starting index, let's say 1, and our ending index that will be exclusive, right, from 2. So this method will cut this slice, okay. Now why we use arrays utility methods? First one is readability, okay. This one is far clearer than a manual sorting implementation. Second one is performance. These methods are written by JDK engineers and optimized for speed and memory efficiency. Third one is reliability. They are thoroughly tested and free of common bugs like off by one errors, something like that. Okay, then we have quick summary. You can read that, and we can proceed to our next chapter, which is search and variable arguments.